I'm Kelsey Zeiser, Senior Editor at Light Reading, and we're here at the big communications event in Austin, and I'm joined by Edward Fox with MetTel. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Kelsey. Thanks for having me.
So you were on a panel earlier today about going cloud native. What are some of the challenges that telcos are facing in going cloud native?
So at MetTel, we pride ourselves on having virtualized a lot of our network functions in our infrastructure today. The challenge is at the lower layer routing functions and switching functions at scale. I think there'll be changes, and there is certainly changes with what Intel's been doing, particularly with the hardware vendors, but the scale that's required and the hardware that's required to go cloud native at that lower layer today doesn't make it necessarily an easy ROI discussion. At the application layer, where we're providing services to our end users, so that the higher level apps, there we're seeing great success in going what we would call cloud native. I know there's certain requirements from the certain communities that manage cloud native. We're not there yet, particularly from the orchestration part of it. But we're getting there, and I think a lot more telcos are getting there quickly.
And MetTel has been providing SD-WAN services to your customers for a while. Tell us a little bit about how that conversation has changed, and what are some new things that enterprises are looking to you for that managed service?
Yeah, so interestingly enough, we like to say we've been in the SD-WAN business for 5 or 6 years at this point. We were initially doing a white box solution that really just did broadband aggregation and some IP tricks to get more bandwidth. We've been with our current SD-WAN provider, VeloCloud, since about 3 years ago, and the conversation with our customers has changed drastically. And I will say that every customer engagement we have today, SD-WAN's on the table and it's a discussion point. The conversations used to be around, does it work, is it real? And then it was around, how am I going to save money here? And now it's around, when can we implement this as quickly as possible so I can start to see the benefits of the granularization that you get from certain SD-WAN applications. You could see all the customer applications that are running through your network, where in the past you used to have to turn on NetFlow and your router CPU would take a hit. Now all that information is there, and the customers are asking and clamoring for that information so they could start to manage at an application layer.
Okay, so having that network visibility is a big benefit then to those customers.
Yeah, it's a big benefit. The other big benefit, there's always this, is it cheaper, is it more expensive, and it all depends on where the enterprise is in their evolution of migrating away from maybe their legacy MPLS infrastructure maybe. Sometimes it is additional monies to layer on SD-WAN and get those benefits, but when you look at it from a return on megabyte or gigabyte added to the network, it becomes much more fruitful.
And what are maybe some other concerns or challenges that are coming up in SD-WAN? Are your customers concerned about security, application performance, some other things like that?
Yeah, so security is certainly a big part of it, particularly when you start to bring in best effort broadband services. The encryption becomes much more prevalent. And I will say that our cloud firewall product has exploded as a result of SD-WAN. Our customers are looking for a more centralized firewall environment, and much like managing one big network, because SD-WAN allows you to do that from one orchestrator, manage one cloud firewall instance that may sit geographically across the country to cut down on latency. So security is a big piece of it. I do think a couple years ago we thought security would be part and parcel with the SD-WAN software. I can say that the marketplace has pretty much said, we want the legacy type firewall vendors doing our security, and then we want SD-WAN. So I think the advents in universal CPE and virtual CPE here will make those two work very closely together.
Well, thanks so much for your time. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.